No, just like as it is. Okay, so the whole thing about being an introvert, he asked me about it like on Facebook and he believes that he is it or whatever. And the whole thing is basically it came down to two things. Oh, you're going?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. So the whole thing was about being introverted and two things came to my head. Basically one thing is called a relative deprivation theory and the other thing is like almost like victim mentality. And what relative deprivation theory is basically we as human beings compare ourselves to the group we surround ourselves with. So if you would put me with the RSD instructors, I might come off as an introvert. But if you would put me in a group of like World of Warcraft players, I would come off as like the biggest extrovert ever on earth. So it's compared to who you compare yourself with. And if you're somebody who's not really talking that much compared in a group of guys who like pick up or whatever, you might get the feeling that you're a bit introverted. But the bigger problem is that you think that you're a victim of being introverted. And being introverted is nothing more than really over filtering yourself. You're you're so intelligent that you think about everything you say and start doubting should you say it or should you not, that you filter yourself and put yourself in this victim mentality by saying I'm an introvert, which makes you not having to change. Like as soon as you have a label, it's part of your identity and then you don't have to change it. But labeling yourself as an introvert is just an excellent excuse for you not to just be expressive, shoot the shit, show your emotions, because you could always say, well, you know what, I'm introvert, it's not my problem, you know, I have this like disease, it's being called introvert. Yeah.
But, yeah, now if you say like this, but doesn't have it more to do with the need for stimulation?
Wow. Explain?
Like some guys, you know, like how I always see it, like, you know, it's like I have the feeling that for most introverts guys, you know, it's like fine the way they are.
I'm not saying it's not the way
if I know one of my closer friends who's not in KSC, who's an introvert, he's fine where he is. He's actually he's a little bit autistic, but that actually makes him so unresponsive that actually girls respond to him.
Yeah.
But I always had the feeling like with a couple of introvert guys that it was more like less need of external stuff.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's good or bad, I'm just saying that don't label yourself too fast of an introvert, because a lot of the times it comes down to you're too afraid of breaking, like being so expressive and being afraid of people judging how you express yourself and what you say, that you use the being introvert thing as an excuse not to express yourself. But I'm not saying it's like, I like to keep to myself and like think in my head and like talk to myself, yeah.
Yeah, I think being an introvert, yeah, as you said, we tend to think a lot about stuff. But if I express myself naturally, yeah, me and Diederik talk about this a lot. When we talk, it's all about philosophy.
Yeah.
It's all about deep stuff, you know?
Yeah.
That's the way we express ourselves. We always go deep and stuff.
Yeah, but that's the problem
But if I
have.
go talk to girls, I'm not expressing myself in that way.
You could.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure that the thinking a lot is related to introvert, because
No,
I'm a really big extrovert and I
Yeah.
think a lot.
But compared to who? How do you
It's
know?
overthinking, I guess, more.
Compared to a lot of people I know.
I think
And a
it's
lot of people I
the
talk to.
Sometimes you also seem quiet, I mean, you know?
Yeah,
Like
you
when I
sound
saw you with
like-
your girlfriend, and not drunk, yeah, you were like, I
No,
didn't
but
even know what to talk
that's
about. you know?
relative deprivation theory. It's compared to who you
Yeah.
compare yourself with.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what I think is
That's
important between, some people are definitely more extrovert, and they get more energy from when they hang around and socialize with people. You have to find your best point of how much time you need for yourself and just chill, and time you socialize. Some people need people around them the whole time, and others they can be for themselves the whole time. You know, that's like the two extremes.
Yeah.
You have to find like the good average, what's good for you, and that's like a process. Can take many years, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the same problem Tyler has. Tyler and like I have the same problem. When I talk about this kind of stuff, I can ramble out like for hours. But I used to have the same problem with like when I talk to girls, I really like the deep stuff. But I had to like you have to learn to like unfilter yourself, and it was all like a process of unfiltering myself. Like deep shit, I can talk in for days, and Tyler has the same shit. But as soon as you have to like talk the Alex shit, like, oh, how are you doing? That was really hard for me, and I had to teach myself, or force myself to like teach myself how to have small conversations. And like I know the feeling, and I also labeled myself as an introvert. But then I like look critically at myself and how I used to behave and what I used to think, and I thought of like, oh wait a second, I was just so caught up in my head of filtering myself that I use this introvert label as just an excuse for not having to change. And I'm not saying you're using it as an excuse or whatever. That's just how, from my perspective of being an introvert and how I change it around, and seen people who label themselves as an introvert, is just, first of all, who you compare yourself to, and second of all, it's you're over filtering yourself. That's like usually, because if you're not afraid of being a retard, then you can say whatever you want. You can be a retard and talk about like whatever, the cosmos or whatever you want to do. Like, yeah, I like carrots. Like, I like to put them in my mouth and like lick them. Like, you can talk about like vegan whatever shit, but make it funny. Like, you can talk about anything, but just don't be afraid to like don't take yourself seriously. I think that's like, if you don't want to be an introvert or whatever, don't take yourself seriously. Like, you should diss yourself so much that it's like it's your standard routine by dissing yourself. That's it. So guys, that was it. Oh, before you go, you can turn off the camera. Just a second.
Well,
How do I do that?
how do I do this shit?
Huh?
It's on the back.
Hey Basti man, what's up? How you feeling?
Good, then, yeah?
Come on, show me your dick. Come on, do it.
No.
Do it now, do it, do it.
Do it.
No. Okay.
Ah yeah, come on, spread your legs.
Because all of you guys have
Okay.
the Alex
How do I turn it
Manifesto,
off?
the Alex Manifesto done, and now
How do I turn it off?
bang girls, you're
No, that's
getting
good.
the best condoms in the world.
Oh, nice!
I don't know if you know these condoms, they're called wingman condoms. You can put them on with one hand. I'll show you why. No, they're not thick, they have applicator thing shit here.
Wingman condom.
Wait, I'll put the tutorial on, show you see. Wait,
It's still recording.
Now I need my phone back.
Wingman condoms. Yeah.
here. Heb jij one?
Nee. Dankjewel, schatje.
I'll turn this shit off.
Chocolate, you know, like a chocolate chip. Yeah? You want to suck my chocolate? You want to eat them together later?